Hello, Gamer Nation. It's been a while since I've recorded a video. Maybe a little quieter because my mom's sleeping right now. Um, but today was kind of busy. Not gonna lie. I woke up at like I was supposed to wake up at 6, and I ended up waking up at like 4, and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I was like playing kickball the whole day. And then I went to the mall, but it's all good. Um, I got this silly goose from one of my friends, Vicky. He's a weighted goose. He's really heavy. Not super heavy, but he's comfortable. He's very nice to cuddle, so thank you, Vicky. I love him so much. I don't know what to name him yet. And there's another plushie that I got with my friend Vicky and some other people because we had like a kickball competition or whatever. And then yeah, we went somewhere, but I got this like hot dog, like it was like a dog but dressed up like it was like a hot dog, which is like a hot dog, and I named him Black Forest Ham Sandwich because I think someone said he looked like a Black Forest ham sandwich, which is one of the things that we sell at work. So I was like, okay, let's just name him that. But that's besides the point. I went into the mall and stuff, and I was like, well, I mean, I got a new book. I've been wanting to do like a favorite book tour for a while now. So I have some books that I've read, some books that I'm currently reading, and I just really wanted to show you guys like my favorite books and what I'm reading right now. So I'm gonna start with the books that I'm reading right now. My friend Orpheus gave me this, The Watchers, and we watched the movie first. He let me borrow his book. Those are all the annotations he's done. He's done so many annotations in this thing, dude. Like, annotating was kind of ruined for me when I was like doing assignments and stuff, because instead of just being able to like enjoy the book, we're just like annotating and stuff, and that makes it kind of hard to just enjoy the book, I feel like. But sometimes it can be fun, as you can see here. But he let me borrow his copy, and that's what I'm reading. One of the books I'm reading right now. We watched the movie first, so it's apparently nothing like the book. Orpheus was sad, like very disappointed, like actually kind of upset over it, because it sucked. It was kind of funny, but as like a very avid book to movie adaptation enjoyer, I'm just a little scared. Next up, I got the second Die Dark book. I fucking love Die Dark. I love Hugh Hayashida. I love her so much. I am such a big Dorohedoro fan. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, I remember I first watched it in like 2020, back when I actually had a Netflix account, when my family had a Netflix account, and I watched it, and I was like I was actually changed, genuinely. If I did not watch Dorohedoro, like, some aspect of me wouldn't be how it is now. But I started reading Die Dark. I have the first 4 books of like the manga of Dorohedoro, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. But I got the first Die Dark book, and I thought it was so funny because me as a creator and like a writer and stuff, I have a lot of characters, and I often find myself kind of copy and pasting characters that I have, so, or at least like how like their archetype and their personality and stuff. So maybe in one project I have like this one character, and then the other project it's like the same character but he's like green now or something like that. And when I was reading the first Die Dark book, I noticed that a lot. Like maybe it was just the design, but maybe I don't know. I don't think it was just the design because design wise, well, I can't remember her name, but there's this one character that literally just looked like Noi, but different. Can't remember her name right now. But it was literally just Noi, and then the archetype of the not stupid protagonist, but like bubbly, perky protagonist who's a little, like I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I find it kind of silly because it's like I'm a creator, I'm a writer, and I do that all the time. And here's this really big author and manga artist who does that as well, kind of. And I just thought it was silly. But I just got this from the mall, from this place. I don't know. It wasn't Barnes and Nobles. It was some other place that had like a lot of comics and stuff. But I'm very excited to read it. I love, I love it. Oh, I love it so much. Die Dark fandom unite. There's like 5 of us left. And then I got this when I went to Tennessee. I went to like the Smoky Mountains, and I can't remember the name of the village. I'll put it up somewhere. But there's this museum, of like the Cherokee Nation or something like that. I can't remember. It was really interesting, but they had like a bookstore, and I got this in it. I'm still reading it right now, and when I say I'm still reading it, I mean it in like I read it like when I'm bored. Sometimes I'm not the best person with reading. I used to be really good at like reading my books and finishing them, but I'm not anymore. I'm trying to get back into that. I I just thought it was so interesting, so definitely want to finish these ones. Now I'm gonna move on to my favorite books, just like of all time that I've had. These are spanning from like all the way back to like elementary school. Even it's not in any particular order. It's just like it's literally just like whatever I have stacked here. I watched the movie of the Freedom Riders, and I was like really interested in it. And then my dad got me the book, and I kind of had a teacher, like the teacher um, who started the whole thing. And what I mean by that is that she's still a teacher now. I love her, but she always told people and always kind of taught people how to like really utilize writing for whatever reason. And I definitely feel like, especially like I took a writing class back in like 7th grade with her, and she definitely like inspired me to like write and do more with my writing, because it's something that you can get into like creatively, but you can also utilize it in whatever like way you want. So I was just really like intrigued by that. And then my dad got me this book, and I read it, and I was just like really fascinated by it. So that's why it's in this pile. And then I'm a really big I've always been a really big Wings of Fire fan, and it's kind of my little guilty pleasure. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like I don't want to say obsessed, but just I'm like a little obsessed with Wings of Fire. I think I started reading it back in elementary school, and like I'm collecting the books and everything. I'm planning on like reading the whole not trilogy, but like the all the books that they have, because I have the first 4, and I'm missing the 5th book, and then I think I have the 6th, 7th, 8th book, and 9th book, and then I think I have the what is it called? I'll put it somewhere on the screen because I kind of like forgot the names of it. But I'm definitely planning on rereading all of it. And I literally like gasped when I saw that they had this like release when it came out. So like I just ordered it off of like Amazon. I was like, I'm getting this. I really like the world building. I really wish they delved more into the world building in Wings of Fire. I mean they have, but I really like the book because I'm a guilty pleasure. Well, my guilty pleasure is like lore books and stuff. Jump my goose. But yeah, I love Wings of Fire. Makes me very happy. My friend Callahan got me this book because he knew how much I like dragons and stuff. And I literally grew up on these books, like at the library and stuff, and I always wanted them. And then he gave it to me because he found it at Goodwill. I was like, I love you so much. This is so great. But it's like, oh my god, do you see that? Like, how do you not think that is cool? And it has like all like like the fake samples of like their scales and everything. See, like that, like the pocket of glitter is supposed to be the pocket of glitter is supposed to be like the what is it? Dragon dust. I always loved how interactive those books were. They're one of my favorites. Then I got Persepolis. I think it's how you pronounce it. Persepolis. Persepolis. I don't know. And I got it from one of my local bookstores. And I read it and I was really intrigued. And I never really knew much about the whole situation with Iran versus Iraq during the Revolutionary War, I believe. And I was reading about it and I watched I read this and then I watched the movie and then I got the second book and I never really understood why they cut out certain things from the movie. Like there's probably a reason why, but I just never really understood why. But I want to say this is definitely like inspired me a little bit more on like learning about like activism and like revolutions and just general like world history besides just what the United States has been involved in. Although I guess technically the United States was kind of involved in the whole war in a sense by providing them stuff and weapons and things, but that's a discussion for another day. I got all these books, the first four Dora Hedora books, when I was in Mexico, like 2 years ago, and it was really cool because they came with. I think the third one came. This is the third one. This is the third one. The blue one. It came with a little calendar for 2021, and then the first one came with a bookmark for free, and it's all in Spanish, obviously, but like I understand, I can read it more or less. So I'm really excited, but I really want to get the rest of the series, and I have not been able to find any place around me that can that like has anything past like the third book for some reason, which I'm really disappointed about. But I'm gonna keep looking. I was honestly really surprised that they even had Dora Hedora because my local Hot Topic, like I think a month ago, just started having like Dora Hedora shirts because of the new season on Netflix, which I'm really excited about. But I don't have Netflix anymore, so I feel like after the second season got released, I like actually started seeing Dorohedoro and Dark like in like the manga section of like my local bookstores and stuff, which I thought was really cool. But I was also kind of sad that it took so long for that to happen. But like Mexico fucking rocks, dude. Like they had all like I think from book 1 to book 15 in I think it was Panini and Querétaro. So I was like, guys. So next time I go, I want to get the rest of them. Carrie Smith, I love her. I love her so much, and I got this because I really want to get more into, like I said before, like activism and stuff like that. But especially like the art part of it, because of how, first of all, like a lot of art can be like free for people around like your area and stuff, especially like in a small town or just a town in general. But it's also really accessible to like whoever just stumbles upon it. So it's like you can get your message across and get it to as many people as you can. And it's really cool because it has how to make like wheat paste and how to like make like styrofoam like stamps and everything, just how to make a lot of DIY things, and it also has a lot of ideas on what you can do. And um guerrilla art isn't even just like vandalizing things and writing stuff on like walls and stuff. It can be so much more. It's really just getting your point across however you want it to be in however kind of art medium you want to do. So it's definitely more activity book, not activity book, just kind of like showing you more, showing you how to do things like, you know, this kind of stuff. And it also has like some things you can cut out too. So if it's something that you're really interested in, or if you're just like a really big like DIY person, I would definitely recommend this book. Not sponsored or anything. It's one of my favorite books. Then Die Dark 1 is so silly. It's English, obviously, but it's just I love the characters. There's so, it just has the Kyu Hayashida like vibe to them, and that's what I really like. I don't know what it is, but especially like in Dorohedoro, like none of the characters, like there's not a character that I like dislike in Dorohedoro, which is really crazy to me because even in a lot of media that I really like, there's at least like one character that I'm like iffy about. But in Dorohedoro, there's like no character that I'm even iffy about. I just even the villains and stuff, or like the characters that you're supposed to hate, I don't hate them. I'm not even like iffy about them. I like them as maybe not as people, but like as characters. They're just it has the charm to them, and I don't know what it is, but it just for me the writing is very natural, very fluid, or at least quirky. I guess quirky would be the word. And Die Dark definitely does not fall flat on that. So I love Die Dark. Charlie, I love Die Dark. Okay, I've had this book since elementary school. I've always really liked animals and learning about um like their biologies and stuff. I literally had this since I think I put a date in here or not. But there is this like book rummage thing that they had at my elementary school, and I think my class went and they had like some books that we could take for free, but we could only take one. And I was just like, I'm just taking this because it's like that's so cool. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever, and I'm never getting rid of it. I can't get rid of it. I got this at Barnes and Nobles from the Book Annex, and it's one of my favorite books ever. I love world mythologies and I love learning about it, and a lot of them like surprised me kind of. Like for example, they have this section on Aborigine like mythology and stuff, and it made me think more because I was just kind of like I've never really learned a lot about like Aborigine like folklore and mythology and like culture in general. Um, yeah, I've never really like learned a lot about that. So I just thought it was cool that they had like a section in that, especially because in a lot of mythology books that I've seen, they tend to focus on Greek, um, like Greek, European, maybe even like Mesopotamian mythologies if you're lucky. But this covers like the whole continent. Like this is like it's like Chinese, Sumerian, Australian, Maori. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Aztec, Mayan, like definitely not everything, but it's a lot. In like Norse mythology too. So I think that's really cool. I think my dad got this in like a thrift store or something. But I actually really love it because first of all, I didn't even know they had these books for Avatar, but it talks about like the lore, not lore, but like culture of like the different tribes and stuff. And I just thought it was so cool because it really um well it has some parts from like the actual like show, but it also has like after the certain chunks from the shows it talks about like certain rituals and just the cultures and the difference between the southern and northern water tribe and stuff. Like talking about, ice dodging, like what ice dodging is, why it's important and stuff. And there's more apparently. So there's like the Earth Kingdom, the Fire Nation, and then the Air Kingdoms and stuff. And I want to find the rest of them because I actually really like how they build on everything. I got this at a garage sale, like a church rummage sale or something, and I just really like reading through it sometimes. It has just different like literature from just different places in like the Eastern world and stuff, and there's like poems, and I think there's the Epic of Gilgamesh in here, question mark. But I just like reading through it. It really gives me a lot of like inspiration for writing like literature and like my own projects and stuff. So I really like that. And then I've had this since middle school. I actually it's also probably one of the few books that I'm probably not going to get rid of. But it has just like history on like everything. Like this is like it's like full and it goes all the way back, goes all the way to like the Paleolithic era, and then it goes all the way to like I guess the most recent stuff as of like the writing. So I think the earliest, like the latest thing it has like um up to like 2010 with the British petroleum oil rig exploding in the Gulf of Mexico. But honestly, a really great resource for reading, I would say. This book, my dad also got at a thrift store. A lot of my books are stolen from him, but it's called Graffiti World. I, since like middle school, I've always been really intrigued with like graffiti and street art and murals and all that stuff because again, it's accessible to a lot of people and you can get your word out really fast. So I just have like all the like bookmarks that I have in here are just from are like the artists that I really like. So for example, let's go. It has just so many like graffiti artists and stuff. And it has like spreads and like little stuff about their art. I think I followed Cha on Instagram on my old account for a while, and there's just there's so many like graffiti artists in this book, and I love it so much, and it also gives me really a lot of inspiration. I'm not gonna get rid of this anytime soon, at all. Even just peeking out the corner, I literally just have like a whole stack of books here. And then the last one, I'm so glad I got this. I got this for my birthday last year because I asked for it. But I've read this book. I read it in elementary school. I'm not even kidding when I say that. Because I don't know if other schools had to do this, but my school made you get 2 books at the library, and at least one of them had to be a chapter book. So I would always check out this book and then just some random chapter book that I didn't even like read because I only wanted to read this, and that was all that I checked out like in 4th grade. But Tale of the Cryptids, I got a copy of it because I was like, I really want this book because it was such a big inspiration for me because I also just always loved cryptozoology and other things like that. Not necessarily like ghosts and stuff. Definitely, I was like, I think it's cool, but and I was also into like aliens a lot too. But I feel like my main thing were like cryptids, so like Bigfoot, Mothman, Loch Ness monster, and I love them. So it just has different things like that, and I would always draw like the guys from the back of it. I would always draw like because they were like illustrations in the back of it. Somewhere. It's like they would have some drawings like that, and I would always draw those. I would copy it like bit by bit, And those are all the books I have. Those are all my favorite books currently. I have that I have, but yeah, there's way more that I have, but I don't really like. I haven't read them yet, and I really need to read more in general. Yeah, those are my favorite books that I have so far. Favorite books, stuff that I've read. If you guys have like any recommendations or like books that you think that I would enjoy or like checking out, um, you should put them in the comment section or something like that because I want to hear your guys' thoughts and I want to hear just I don't know books that you guys are reading right now, books that you really like, books that you didn't like, books that you also want to read maybe. Um, yeah. So I think that's gonna be it. All for now, gamers. Sleep tight. Someone out there loves you, and if not, actually, never mind. Someone out there does love you. There's at least one person out there that loves you, and that's something that you gotta be sure of. All right. Good night, Gamer Nation.